I'm 34 and I'm a professional musician and teacher. And I first started experiencing hair loss in my early 20s. And then the reason it bothered me most of all was due to my job. I have a lot of photos taken of me, and I was realising a receding hairline, and when light was going through my hair, you could see my scalp and things. So that's when I first decided to look into having a hair transplant. I started thinking about an hair transplant surgery pretty much a few years after I realised I had a receding hairline, and also I was starting to look at pictures from I'd had with family and things like that, and realising that I would consider being able to fix it. That's when I first started looking at for an hair transplant surgeon. I first started searching for hair transplant clinics after one of my friends actually had one done abroad. That first took me onto looking onto Google, and that led me onto review sites, and it seemed like a possibility that now it was a more successful procedure and more easy to be performed. The reason I chose Hair Palace was first of all reading a lot of excellent reviews from my research online. I actually then contacted a past customer from Hair Palace to ask their experience, and they was full of recommendation. They sent me photos of their results before and after, and I was amazed at the transformation. The way Hair Palace is better than other clinics, I would say, is the procedure that they use. The FUE procedure is quite revolutionary in the fact that there's no scarring, and that concerned me with other clinics that were available. I contacted Hair Palace, and within a week I was given a list of locations to go for a consultation. A few days later I then visited London for my consultation. From the consultation then, it was 2 months after that I flew out to Hungary and had the procedure. I was a little nervous about flying to a country that I'd never visited before, and whether things would be organised for me to find where I was going. So from the minute the plane touched the floor, I was met in the airport entrance by a driver who took me to my accommodation. It was very well organised. I was then taken the next morning to Hair Palace, where I met the doctors to begin my procedure. On the day of the surgery, when I arrived at Hair Palace, I was a little nervous. I was taken into a room where I met the doctors. The doctors came and saw me and went through my treatment plan, and I was rest assured and felt less nervous knowing that I was in good hands. And on the procedure beginning, like everyone, I was a little bit nervous about any pain for the procedure. But within 10 minutes of the surgery starting, I realised there was no pain, and the next 2 days was pain-free and a really easy, straightforward process. After my surgery finished at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I met with the doctor. She went through my aftercare plan, things to do, things not to do to ensure that the treatment was successful. And then I was taken back to the airport. Travelling was easy, there was no pain after the procedure. You just have to be extra cautious with weather conditions, and you can't wear a hat and things. But there was no difficulties in flying home whatsoever. Compared to British clinics, which I did go to see one in London, and they quoted me on a procedure that was less hairs than the 6,000 package I was receiving with Hair Palace, and I was quoted £10,500 compared to the procedure costing £3,390 in Hungary, so giving me a total saving of over £7,000 compared to the UK. After the procedure, I look back on photos taken before the procedure. I didn't realise how thin my hair was really until the results. So to say if I'm satisfied, I'm more than satisfied with the results I've received from Hair Palace. The aftercare plan was really easy to follow, and I don't think that aided the success of the procedure, but I think it was the results of thickening my hair and making me feel more confident. Since the procedure, it's inspired me to go back to the gym, lose weight. I'm a lot more happy in my daily life. If people want to take a photo of me, I'm not concerned about whether my hair's in the right place or if I've got any bald patches or anything like that. So I'm definitely more confident, and I would definitely recommend the Hair Palace in Hungary as a fantastic clinic. Yes, I would proceed with the procedure again. In fact, I've booked for a second treatment to be performed at Hair Palace. The reason for that is because I do get asked a lot of questions saying, why would I go back for a second treatment? And the reason is density. I had my hairline built up on my first procedure, and then the second procedure is simply just to thicken up the hair, just to give the results that I want, although I am more than satisfied as it is now.